There are mornings when you wake up carrying a weariness you cannot even name, aren't there? You smile at the world, but inside you feel empty and exhausted. You have prayed, you have cried, you have hoped, and yet nothing seems to have changed. So you begin to wonder, does God even hear my prayers? But listen carefully to this truth. God has never been silent. He is simply preparing a miracle greater than anything you have imagined. Do not let go when you are just one prayer away from touching a miracle. Do not stay silent when your prayer has the power to move heaven itself. Today is not the day to give up. Today is the day to fight with faith, to step into the breakthrough you have been waiting for far too long. If your heart is trembling, if you are standing at the edge of giving up, then this is the video God has sent specifically for you. Subscribe to the Jesus Powered Mornings channel so that every morning you never have to fight alone. And now, let us step into the first truth: why persistent prayer has the power to shake both heaven and earth. Have you ever wondered whether prayer truly changes anything? Have there been moments when you looked at your situation, a door firmly shut, an unfulfilled dream, a pain that refuses to fade, and quietly told yourself, I have prayed so much, yet everything is still the same? Let me remind you of this truth. Jesus himself said, according to your faith, it will be done to you. Not maybe, not hopefully, it will be done. This is not mere comfort, it is a heavenly declaration, a spiritual principle established by the one who holds all authority in heaven and on earth. And here is what you need to know. Prayer is the pathway through which faith is released. Prayer is not the last option after everything else has failed. Prayer is the very first key that opens the doors of heaven. It is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is warfare in the spirit. It is a declaration spoken before the rising sun that says, no matter what happens, I will still trust in my God. When you pray, you are not merely talking to God, you are summoning the armies of heaven. You are stirring the unseen realm. You are breaking invisible chains that have been holding you back. Chains over your family, your future, your destiny. Every prayer that leaves your lips, whether whispered or cried aloud, whether through tears or silence, is recorded in heaven. Angels listen, heaven responds, and the Almighty rises to act. Prayer is not only meant to change circumstances, prayer draws you deeper into God's covering. It allows you to step into a new day not merely with a schedule, but with power flowing from the throne of grace. It means you do not carry only your own plans, but the presence of the one who can change everything in a single moment. So, my dear friend, never take morning prayer lightly. It is not just a habit, it is life. A morning that begins in God's presence will always be different from one that begins in worry and exhaustion. When you pray, you clothe yourself with heaven's mantle, shielding you from the attacks of the day ahead and strengthening you with unshakable promises. Today may bring challenges, but you will face them with fortified faith, a steady heart, and the confidence that God is going before you to prepare the way. And if right now you feel weak, remember this: when you pray, you never fight alone. Heaven stands with you. So do not wait for a miracle before you pray. Pray so the miracle can begin. For it is within those persistent prayers that God is building inside you an unshakable faith. And that is where miracles are born. And now, let us discover together why prayers that seem delayed are often the very foundation of a far greater victory than you ever dared to imagine. Some miracles do not arrive immediately. Some prayers are not answered the very moment you lift your voice. But that does not mean God is not listening. It does not mean He is indifferent. Sometimes, delay itself is the greatest lesson of faith. God does not operate on human schedules. He is not bound by time the way we are. And He is never in a hurry. Because God is not only concerned with what you receive, He is deeply concerned with who you are becoming while you wait. That is why Jesus spoke so clearly in Luke 18. Always pray and do not give up. Do not stop just because you see nothing yet. Do not fall silent just because there is no visible result. For it is often in those quiet moments that God is training a faith that does not depend on circumstances, but is rooted deeply in trust. Remember the story of the prophet Daniel. The moment he prayed, an angel was sent from heaven. Yet it took 21 days of spiritual battle before the answer reached him. 21 days of silence. 21 days where nothing seemed to change. But that did not mean heaven was still. During those days, Daniel did not give up. He kept praying. He kept trusting. And in the end, the answer came. A miracle not only for him, but for an entire nation. My dear friend, the same may be happening to you right now. Perhaps today you are on day 7 or day 14 of your prayer journey and you see no sign of change. But who knows? Tomorrow could be your day 21, the day heaven opens, the day the miracle is released. Delay is not denial. Silence is not abandonment. It is the season where you are being strengthened to stand firm, to learn how to pray not just for outcomes, but for a deeper relationship with the one who hears you. God is not only a giver of blessings, He is a father. And sometimes, a father's love teaches the value of waiting. Not to punish, but to prepare. Not to withhold, but to give at the right time, in the right way. According to His perfect purpose. Think about the real historical event at Dunkirk in 1940. More than 300,000 Allied soldiers were trapped, surrounded by enemy forces with no escape in sight. Everything looked finished. Yet instead of surrendering in despair, something extraordinary happened. The entire nation of Britain was called to pray. Churches were filled. People knelt on their knees. Cries for mercy rose everywhere. And then the unthinkable occurred. The sea grew unnaturally calm. A thick fog concealed the soldiers from enemy view, and hundreds of civilian boats appeared, crossing the waters, rescuing over 300,000 lives. From what seemed like certain defeat, history calls it the miracle of Dunkirk. But I call it living proof that persistent prayer can change the course of history. So today, will you dare to keep praying? When the sky is still dark? When the doors remain closed? When everyone around you says it is time to give up? I challenge you to stand up, look straight at your situation, and declare, I will not give up. I will not remain silent. I will not abandon hope, for my God is not delayed. He is working, even when I cannot see it. Every day you persist in prayer, you are planting seeds of faith, and Scripture is clear. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest, if we do not give up. So what will you choose? Will you give up, or will you trust? Will you surrender to circumstances, or will you stand firmly on the promises of God? God is testing your faith not to break you, but to raise you stronger, more mature, and closer to Him. Because the miracle is not only at the end of the journey, the miracle is also the transformation taking place within your heart when you choose not to give up. And now, as you have learned to wait, to trust, and to refuse to give up, this is the moment to pray with explosive faith. Not a prayer rooted in fear, but a prayer released in authority. Not the whisper of weariness, but the cry of a heart set ablaze. You do not come before God as a beggar, you come as a child. You do not knock on heaven's door with trembling hands. You knock with the promise that says, everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Today, we are not merely hoping for a miracle, we are declaring a miracle. Now, let us enter into prayer together. Beloved Father, this morning, I do not come only to ask for what I desire. I come to surrender everything I cannot control. I place my life, my circumstances, and the burdens I have carried for far too long into your hands. I ask you to enter the deepest places within me, where fear once ruled, and replace it with an unshakable peace. If there are any chains holding me back, chains of failure, doubt, sin, or past wounds, I ask you to break them right now. Father, I also lift my family before you. Heal the fractures in our relationships. Restore hearts that have grown distant. Draw those who have wandered far back to your feet. You know their names. You know their tears. And you have never stopped loving them. If any loved one is trapped in addiction, in despair, or in the darkness of this world, Lord, shine the light of salvation into that very moment. Do not let the enemy prevail. Do not let our family fall apart. Step into our home and restore what has been lost. Lord, I also place my work and my finances into your hands. I know provision does not come from salary or people, but from you, the one who opens doors no one can shut, the one who blesses in ways no one can take away. Grant me wisdom, heavenly strategy, and supernatural opportunities to work diligently, bear fruit, and live worthy of the calling you have placed upon my life. I do not seek wealth to store up for myself. I seek abundance, so I may become a channel of blessing to others. Give me the ability to give freely, to help generously, and to live for your kingdom. Father, I do not forget this body, the temple of the Holy Spirit. If any sickness is clinging to me, if there is fatigue or pain weighing me down, I declare that the healing power, in the name of Jesus, is touching every cell, every organ, every vein within me. Heal my body, my mind, and my soul. Drive away all anxiety, every shadow of depression, every unseen fear creeping into my heart. Pour out a fresh wind, new life, new joy, new strength, so that I step into this day, not merely surviving, but walking in victory. And above all, be with me. Go before me and cover me with your love and protection. For I know that if you are with me today, nothing, not the enemy, not delay, not circumstance, can cause me to fall. I will stand firm, I will move forward, and I will overcome. There are seasons in life when you feel as though you no longer have the strength to keep going. Each day feels like a battle, and you begin to wonder, am I strong enough to get through this? Is there still a miracle left for me? But my friend, that is not the voice of God. That is the whisper of fear, the very thing that tries to make you retreat just before glory appears. Today, you do not have to remain in that darkness any longer. Today is the day you rise and declare, I will not surrender. Even if circumstances are shouting, even if the answer has not yet come, even if worry still lingers in your heart, you can still choose to believe. Because faith is not a feeling. Faith is a decision to stand on God's promises when everything else is shaking. Faith is lifting your head and saying, even though I do not yet see what I am praying for, I know the one I am praying to is already at work. You were not created to live under the rule of fear. You were created to walk under the divine protection of God. Listen to this truth. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. At the very moment you are trembling, God is extending his hand to cover you. When you feel weak, he is your unshakable fortress. When you are surrounded by worry, he is your place of refuge. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. Now, stand with me and declare this boldly, not only with your lips, but with your spirit. I no longer live in delay. I no longer live in discouragement. I no longer live in fear. I am a child of God. I am loved, chosen, and anointed for a purpose greater than myself. I will not stop halfway. I will pray until the door opens. I will believe until the walls fall. I will stand firm until the miracle happens. No circumstance is greater than my God. No negative word can define me. No darkness is thick enough to stop his light from shining into my life. And my friend, if these words are touching your heart, leave a comment that says, I will not give up. I will pray until the miracle comes. Because when you write it, you are not only declaring it with words, you are sealing your faith in heaven. When you share this message, you are helping someone else, someone who is also standing on the edge of fear, find hope again. And when you choose to keep praying, you are standing together with thousands of others in a family of faith rising up across the world, not because we are strong, but because the one who lives within us is stronger than anything we face. Let these words echo in your heart throughout today. I am not alone. I am covered by God. I am protected by God. I am guided by God. And if anything tries to make you hesitate, repeat this declaration. I will not stop. I will keep praying. I will keep trusting. I will keep moving forward. There is nothing more powerful than a person who prays with unshakable faith. Nothing terrifies hell more than the cry of someone who refuses to give up. And nothing is more beautiful than the eyes of God looking down upon a child who remains faithful, who keeps kneeling, who continues to believe. And sometimes, faith is not only shown through action, but through deep gratitude in the days when answers have not yet come, because gratitude is the heartbeat of a soul, learning how to trust, even while the skies are still covered in mist. And when you have dared to believe in the season of waiting, when you have chosen to pray in the middle of challenges, when you have declared faith in the darkest places, now is the moment to do the bravest thing of all, to place your entire life into the hands of the one who created you. Not just one day, not just one situation, but everything. Your work, your unfinished dreams, your complicated relationships, even the things you think are small and insignificant. And to say to God, I hold nothing back. I belong to you completely. Beloved Father, today I do not come to ask for more. I come to offer myself. I give you my time every hour of every day. Use it to guide my steps according to your will. I give you my talents, even the ones that seem small. Breathe on them and let them bear fruit. I give you my influence, whether in my family, my work, or my community. Let my life become a reflection of the light of your kingdom. I do not live to please the world. I do not live to collect temporary achievements. I live so that every breath I take declares, Lord, you are the only purpose of my life. If someone reading these words feels they are not good enough, not strong enough, not holy enough, know this: God does not wait for you to become perfect before He receives you. He loves you right in the middle of your brokenness. And it is that very love that heals, transforms, and lifts you up. Perhaps you have spent many years searching for something that would make you feel worthy. But this morning, you do not need to search any longer. The love of God is exactly what you need, and you can begin again, right here, in this very moment. Are you ready? Not just to believe in God in theory, but to truly surrender your life to Him? Not just to pray when there is a need, but to live every day as an act of worship? If your answer is yes, then whisper it in your heart, or write it right below this video. I surrender my entire life to God, because that declaration will become the first step of a transformed journey. My dear friend, this morning may mark a turning point in your life, not because circumstances change instantly, but because your heart has just chosen a new path, the path of surrender, of faith, of living for an eternal kingdom. Do not stop here. Keep praying, keep trusting, keep giving thanks, keep walking forward, even if it is only one small step at a time, as long as you are walking with God. And if you want to begin each morning guided, encouraged, and reminded that you are never alone, subscribe to the Jesus Powered Mornings channel now. This is a place where every morning you will find a prayer, a light, and a faithful companion for your journey. God is walking with you. The miracle is closer than you think, and your new journey begins this very morning.